Like, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a hot match, but it's not going to be as crazy as that set that just happened.
You know what? After every hot match at a wrestling event, maybe you get a little bit of a popcorn match. You get a little bit of a comedy thing.
Yeah.
You know, after you get, the Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan, sometimes you got to take a break and Santino Marella. It's all good. It happens. But
yeah, the last characters we had were they have their things, and they're really punish heavy. This is going to be neutral right here. This is going to be like, okay, I got you hit with Nair, and I'm going to do some combos and some banana stuff.
And it's not like we're unfamiliar with this matchup at the very top of the level. I mean, we've seen this between Gluto and Tweak a few times. And certainly Skitz and Beastly bringing their own spins to this character upon this thing. Actually, these are both characters that Tweak have played and won majors with.
Yeah.
So, definitely a little bit of familiarity. And we're talking about domination of neutral while also having a little bit of proficiency in the air and combo game, being able to be creative. Skitz and Beastly, we've seen the rise of these two individuals as we're getting into this match. Also marks the start of top 8.
Yeah.
As we start this off, I kind of wonder just how much Beastly is going to be able to handle the raw power that Skitz can throw out with just those hitboxes. If Beastly jumps into that, that spells trouble, and we just saw that.
And I was about to say, Beastly has been having a great PR year. He fell off last season. He was not on it. But, man, he's been getting consistent number 2s next to Lima. And that's no easy feat, even taking sets off Lima. But Skitz is like super Skitz. When there's out of region talent, when they're here, he just tends to show up. And right now he's showing up in a big way.
Skitz has been doing awful good from everything that I have seen. And I know that I just came back and Diddy. Oh yeah, no, I don't blame you. Maybe you just needed a little bit of a reset off of.
I mean, you got 3 stocks and you have Waft to play against. That Wario definitely one of the harder characters to come back on, especially as Diddy Kong. We have to nickel and dime somebody so long for such an extended period of time. It's gonna be really tough.
Yeah, not a comeback character.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. Either you dominate it from the outset, or you're just not able to do much of anything.
And Beastly just went from joking at the beginning to just straight faced, switching to.
Oh,
I was gonna say earlier.
Oh no.
You missed out on ban, but we had a set that was ban, free.
Uh-huh.
And then Beastly's like, no.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Beastly has, we're even in comparison to what we're about to see in Northern Cave, we have seen a great evil arise here, and that is the Beastly Steve.
Which is crazy because Beastly plays so many characters, so you would think, maybe one of those is the answer. And Steve is probably the least out of ones that he's used so far, comparative to even Pokemon Trainer, Diddy Kong, stuff like that.
Steve might have actually been created as a result of Project Genova. We're actually not sure. But I've been replaying FF7, can you tell? But either way, I don't know. For all the materia that Beastly's been given up, it's Skitz thus far that has a little bit of the advantage, and that's a crit. They're on the back air in the middle of it. Beastly, I mean, jumps are still frame commitments. Skitz is more than happy to take advantage of that.
Yeah, and Skitz has been on record saying that this is one of Wario's worst matchups. He doesn't like it, but I mean, he's Skitz might be able to make it work against Beastly's Steve.
Oh, that was a completely intentional footstool, and Skitz will never tell you otherwise. Motorcycle, meeting up with the minecart, and that's. I guess you got to make use of that thing however you can. It seems a little cumbersome, but Skitz is Skitz is committing to the bit. I got to give it to him, and it does eventually work out.
Yeah, Wario actually has a projectile apparently, and it's just bike. He just pulls out and continuously hits you with it.
Now we're seeing Beastly getting caught on the roll up there by Skitz. I kind of wonder about the wisdom of this. Don't get me wrong, having a pocket Steve, it can't possibly hurt. I understand that, but then again, you see Skitz is in this region. You're so used to playing people like Yanni, like Trey 5. I guess you could say DJ Don now. Oh my gosh!
For sure, he's been taking PR names left and right too.
I mean, utterly insane stuff from Don, and more than impressive on his part, but Beastly, I mean, that you got to bring something of quality. You can't just rely on Steve being Steve in this instance because you're in a land with so many of these three-dimensional trolls that you kind of have to bring a little something extra to the table, whether that's fundies or whatever. And that's kind of what Beastly has to rely on because we know he's a good fundamental player. But what are you going to do against that?
I was going to say, we didn't even really see Beastly go for that SD that he went with for Diddy Kong, even though he's down the same amount of stocks. Because, you know, Steve has that comeback potential. You know, he has, as we saw with DJ Don, you know, sometimes all it takes is one forward smash. And, I mean, well, what is he going to pull out in his bag of characters now? You know, like...
Yeah, it makes you wonder. We
have the crowd going to Incineroar, and oh my God!
Ask and you shall receive.
and program that in. He's like, you're automatically gonna pick Incineroar.
Oh man, and the cat in black is back.
All right, Stu. I don't know if you know this, but Beastly's done this before. He's been at his end, and he's like, you know what? Let me pull out the Incineroar, and he's made it work against people. So it's not like he's just, this is the last resort. This character got it.
I have seen the clip.
Yeah.
And that is why I am very excited. But Skitz is looking to put a kibosh to all of that and is going to just go ahead using the ring hand. Goodness gracious. And at 46%, Beastly is going to have to make this comeback happen. I will say maybe it's a character a little bit more suited for a comeback than the other ones.
Oh, for sure. Definitely. Especially with the usage that he does with... And that Alolan Whip's going to go far, but the way he uses Revenge on top of that as well, Beastly's going to be in a really good spot, especially with his neutral.
You got to think. I mean, if Wario can lift that bike, and Incineroar sure as hell can. That's another thing. Maybe he can even throw it farther. We don't know. At least we're talking about Yola. I'm not going to get into this. Either way, we're going to talk about the Darkest Lariat taking it off of the side. Cyclone, we're in Tornado Alley here at Town and City, and that's going to cost Beastly the first stock.
Yeah, and we kind of whittled away his stock. Didn't really take it with something explosive. Just said, you know, I'm going to just ledge trap you and take it there. You know, can't take the ledge trapping out of Beastly no matter what character he's playing.
Yeah, I mean, it's so crucial no matter what. And yeah, that at some point, yeah, you are playing a character, but that's never the case. You're playing another person playing a character. Yeah. Like, there are so many different ways. How many different styles of Palutena have we seen over the years? Case in point. But it's still Beastly. You're still looking at strong play on the ledge, being able to take advantage, get stocks, and really just being able to adapt to the pace of the game, even if you're not necessarily able to control it. Incineroar is that character. You really are kind of a counterpuncher, but my, oh my, are those punches strong, and we're seeing it now. Beastly probably going to be taken to a last stock situation as a result of the F-tilt, and indeed, if Beastly's going to make it happen, it needs to start right now. And half the time you have Omega, you have an Omega stage. How do you think that fares for both of these?
I mean, he's took the same stock both times a similar way. You know, make him recover high, forward tilt him off. But the way Beastly's been catching on is Skitz' aerial drift. That's one of the harder things about Wario to catch. But these Alolan Whips are just perfectly placed. There's been parts where Skitz will drift away to kind of get out of the range, and he still adjusts and able to get there in time. And that's the difference maker right now.
I don't think we're seeing that stage again.
Yeah.
That no way in hell against Incineroar are you staying on TNC, because yeah, maybe you do get to be up there just a little more often. That's how Incineroar likes to take the damage. You don't want to get that off to the side, man. No. So we are going to be stepping into the Octagon instead, to Smashville. Very small stage, but then again, you're not getting nearly as much off of the black zones.
Yeah, but still though, when Beastly gets Skitz on that platform, that side B is going to cover a good amount of that whole platform. So it's going to be coming really handy. Let's see how they use it.
Oh, dash attack, missed space there from Beastly. Skitz is going to take advantage of it, and man, at some point, you got to think in neutral, this could become a staring contest. Like, whoever blinks first, going to get a lot off of the counter punch. Maybe Beastly's going to get just a little more in terms of the initial hit and the knockback. But Skitz, the combo potential of Wario is going to be there. Even so, and Skitz had no resources left. Is going to lose that first stock, though could stand to take this first one. If you're able to time those F tilts as well as Skitz has been doing throughout these past 3 games.
Yeah, and the tough thing is, the Skitz relies on like constant neutral interactions to get that, you know, waft in place and perfect timing. But Incineroar's not going to give you that option. You're just going to keep getting a lowland whipped over and over, and all that damage keeps continuing. Like, when is Skitz going to be able to get on and maybe get a late hit nair, you know, to get that combo started?
Yeah, that's the whole thing, is starting those combos at that high percentage. Doesn't need to worry about that now. Beastly is going to make it back to the stage via Angel platform. And all it costs him is the stock. How convenient.
And 61% and climbing.
Yeah, that's the whole trouble, is you do like to put on that damage. Unfortunately, that makes the cat very angry. And yeah. You don't want to mess with Incineroar.
Oh yeah, this
with
cat's
a whole
got
lot of rage.
huge claws. No way! And maybe
you should see the biceps though, man. That is absolute, that is just pure functional strength there from Incineroar.
And I mean, you got kill throws, you know, command grabs that kill. You got everything with Incineroar. It's not a lot of speed, but I mean, well, who needs speed when, you know, you're on such a small stage like Smash World?
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice to have that closed down speed, especially in the air. You want to get those combo starter nairs, especially around those mid percentages. Other times, you just got to get whatever straight hit you possibly can, that back air. Got to think a little closer to the stage, that kills for sure. We'll have no such luck this time as Skitz letting this Incineroar hang around to 171%, and that is 34 that you just got to hang on to. And all of a sudden, this Wario could have the fear of God put into him. But having a last stock situation again. Beastly gonna have to fight their way out of this one.
And we've seen how Skitz plays around that invincibility off the Angel platform too. Like, he was just hopping right around it. Beastly couldn't get anything started with that invincibility.
Yeah, and giving himself just a little bit of space, slowing down the pace of the game thanks to that double axe handle. And again, flying splash. But it's gonna be the waft that does it, and Beastly very nearly making it happen, but Skitz, again, putting a stop to it, and that's exactly what you want to do. You want to make it, you can't have it be a 3-stock game if you're Wario. You have to make it 2.5.
Yeah.
That's what happened with the waft, and well done there from Skitz. You had all the momentum in the world for Beastly, but it did not, just was not able to happen.
Yeah, and once towards the end where Beastly wasn't able to get those Alolan whips, that's when Skitz was able to strike. You know, if you keep getting caught in those, you don't get to do your neutral, you don't get to play anything. But, I mean, that's what happens when you let Skitz play neutral. You got that nair, and then the rest was history.
Makes you wonder how that would have gone if it's Incineroar from the very beginning.
That's true. I mean, we might see that next set if Beastly works all his way back and maybe they find losers.
Yeah.
We'll see the different kind of play.
You can't fault Beastly for the thought process, right?
Yeah,
like, I mean, Steve, obviously, Warriors hate this matchup, but then again, Skitz is used to the matchup. It's just a matter of where we are in the world, so.
It's not like Beastly's going to bring out a character that Skitz never seen before. He does go to majors, does play a lot of people online, so it's not surprising. It's not like he's going to pull out like a, I don't know, a Ridley or some odd character that we haven't seen. Skitz is pretty, has a lot of good experience.
I would not put that past Beastly, that being said, but I did hear a Game & Watch on the character select screen, so it makes you wonder, we are going to be getting, okay, never mind.